Hello, Dana Meditation Center 이유안. How to find your true self. Finding the true self is something everyone wants, but it's also the way everyone is already going. Our consciousness has an in-depth consciousness below it. It's the subconscious and the unconscious, but the real self is associated with this in-depth consciousness. The unconscious mind can be said to be a real self, and the problem lies in thinking that the subconscious is itself against the painting drawn in this unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is originally a pure Buddha nature, but all traces of the past years we have lived are recorded. This painting is causing confusion. Originally, the mind is free because there is no form. But the traces of the forms we have lived in are fully stored in this unconscious mind. And the way to clean these paintings is the way to practice. If so, I would like to teach you how to live as yourself by changing the way you live your life even if you do not practice. It is difficult for us to give up our greed when we live only with the present unconsciousness. Greed refers to judging and thinking about everything based on the result and form. However, it is different when living with in-depth consciousness. Subconsciousness refers to the consciousness of finding yourself. It is a consciousness that is latent and very obsessed compared to the present consciousness. They think they are alienated because they are latent. This is why many people always think that their lives are marginalized. The real self is actually unconscious, but there is no such alienation in this unconscious mind. In addition, since this subconscious is a consciousness that seeks out paintings of the unconscious, they feel that they are special and that they are different from others. This subconscious is the ego consciousness, which has a strong obsession and has the wisdom to discern unconscious paintings with illusions. Wisdom is divided into discernment and indiscrimination. Discrimination refers to the wisdom of distinguishing things, and indiscrimination refers to the wisdom of knowing everything in the light of it without discriminating beyond it. The wisdom of this subconscious is strong in discernment. Unlike the present consciousness, which mainly involves misunderstanding and illusion, the subconscious has the wisdom to strengthen and discern obsession rather than illusion. But there is an ignorance that does not know the changing appearance because it does not transcend it. Everything in the world is constantly changing, so the current shape is not eternal, but it is mistaken as if it would be eternal. This word comes out in the Analects. There is a Confucius teaching that knowing what you know and not knowing what you don't know is knowing. This is in line with what is called metacognition these days. When you find metacognition in the Korean dictionary, it is said that it refers to the mental action of observing, discovering, and controlling one's cognitive process at a higher level. In Buddhism, the phrase 약견 재상 비상 직견열에 appears in the Diamond Sutra. It means that if you know that not all statues are statues, you will immediately become a Buddha. This means that we do not even know what we are thinking because we are constantly deceived by our cognitive processes. That is why even if you ask us to throw away the statue, we do not know what it means. It doesn't make sense to abandon the idea even though I don't know what I am thinking. Here's why observing yourself. If you don't know, it's the attitude of starting to observe as scientists observe. It's supposed to be visible when you observe. If you know what you are thinking, you are already out of it. Living as a true self is to escape from this illusion and live in the dimension of unconsciousness. It is to hear the sound coming from within your heart. There is a sound in your mind that tells you what you really want. It also sounds like you have to give up your greed. It seems very similar to following greed and living the life you really want. However, the purpose is very different. The former values the outcome, while the latter process is very important. People who live the life they really want can live their life regardless of the outcome. Doing something is enough. It doesn't matter if it's done or not done. Most people who cannot forgive themselves just based on me as a being in the world. The standards in the world are full of right and wrong. But there is no such things in the mind. No matter how strange I did, I was in that situation, so I have every reason for myself. Of course, the same goes for others. In order to live a truly happy life, it is impossible without forgiving yourself and others. We were not born to endure this world, but to enjoy life. Right and wrong can only be maintained based on the illusion of self. No one wants sin deep down. The consequences of my sin are already fully received in my life for me or that person. Therefore, there is no need to convict someone by setting the standard of right and wrong. If you turn a blind eye to the sound of your mind, you lose the time you were given. Thank you.